Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's your girl, Miss Honey, here for another review. You guys already know what this review is for. We talked about it yesterday, remember? It is episode 8 of Our Kind of People. And you guys know I did 7 yesterday, so we are fully caught up. This is episode 8, and it's called Sistervention. And it was not, it wasn't the best storyline wise, but it was really good visually. This was a good visual episode. One of the things we get from this show is black beauty, black texture, black richness, black all things loverly, right? As it pertains to black people. In this episode, Teddy is home from the hospital and he's on the mend, and he's also getting ready to celebrate his birthday. Now, which birthday this is, I'm not really sure. But everyone's excited about it, including the Invisible Man. As a matter of fact, before we go any further, I talked him up. The Invisible Man has a significant amount of dialogue in this episode. I'm sure they're watching. And they know that I felt as though Quincy was, yes, in fact, the invisible boy of the episode, right? Quincy had a lot to say. He was definitely not invisible. He was overacting because it was his first... It was his first real time having dialogue in the entire season, but he was not invisible. Anyway, he's super excited about celebrating his father's birthday, his grandfather's birthday. It's going to be a 20s themed party. Again, this goes back to what I was saying about how visually stunning this episode is. We see where he talks with Leah, Teddy does, at breakfast, and he's really just assuring her that she's in the number 1 slot, that he wants her to handle the completion of the stadium rollout, everything else that pertains to that, everything that Teddy was working on, he wants her to pick the ball up on that and spearhead it, because the numbers have fallen for the Franklin Holdings Company because of this whole Parkinson's announcement or discovery. So he wants her to pick the ball up and take it on into the end zone. And remember that she's building a legacy for herself, and that when he's gone, everything will be hers, and she will be master over all that she surveys. And so she feels good about that. I mean, it's always been her and Teddy, and she definitely wants to impress him. And she also wants to break things up a little bit, diversify, do things from more of a more philanthropic perspective, and him giving her free reign to do what it is she does means a lot to her. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen though, sis, because you know your daddy ain't ish. You know that. You know your daddy got a steel heart. You know what I'm saying? It's made of concrete and metal. Okay. And sharp edges. Anyway, Raymond has decided he coming back home, boo. He was like, look, I tried to do this whole distance thing, but it's time for me to come back home. And she was like, I don't know if you can come back home, because I don't know if I can trust you. Pump your brakes, Leah. Pump your brakes. You been dishonest, boo. Okay. Don't let us forget about that little kiss you did with Jackie Jack. Like Jack did kiss you, but I didn't see you fighting him off either. Okay. We ain't forgot about that. Okay. He tells her as much. Now he doesn't know about the Jack thing, but he tells her, you haven't been 100% honest with me either. You and your dad? What you and your dad are doing? How you and your dad are handling things? She saunters on out, baby. She's like, I do not care. Meanwhile, Lauren is all in their business. I don't know how she know about her daddy kissing Alex, but somehow she knows about it. I don't know if she's eavesdropping or what. But she is giving her mama pushback about asking her daddy to leave the house for a little bit. Okay, and now she giving him, she glad to see her daddy home, and she giving her mama the side eye about side eyeing the daddy that he done came home without her permission. Okay, mind your business, Lauren. You getting grown folks' business. I wish somebody would tell her to pump your brakes, sis. Still, we're grateful that there has not been a Taylor sighting in 2 episodes. I know I'm super excited about that. Anyway, yeah, Leah been around there with Jack the kisser in this episode, but we gonna talk about it. Angela and Tarika waking up to in post-coitus bliss. She tries to talk to him about what's going on with his dad and how he's feeling about it, and he's like, okay, I'm fine, no big deal, and he goes on about his way. And she's got to go down and see her daddy. She goes down and sees Teddy, and they have a talk about the Harlem Renaissance. His party is going to be like a 20s type thing around the Harlem Renaissance type feel. And she's always been big interested in the Harlem Renaissance. Speaking of which, if you have not seen my review for the Netflix movie Passing, it was written during the Harlem Renaissance by the author Nellie. Yeah. Check it out. Really, really good, right? And check the movie out if you haven't seen it. Anywho, he invites her to the party. She and Nikki are going to come. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yay. Okay, so then we get to see where Raymond goes to see Jack the Kisser, and he's playing tennis, and Raymond is there. He's all about business. Jack has always had the luxury of money, lots and lots of money, so he can spend his days playing tennis and sipping champagne, and Raymond feels compelled to focus on Darman and his company, and getting that company back from Teddy, and getting his legacy back from Teddy. And Jack is his partner in this whole situation. He wants Jack to sell him his shares, and he's drawn up the paperwork to have all of his shares transferred over, all of Jack's shares transferred over to himself, Raymond. He just needs Jack to sign the paperwork, and Jack is like, you look at you, you're all suited up, you know what I'm saying? All work and no play makes Raymond a dull boy, basically. And Raymond is like, listen, I'm not like you. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, okay? This is important to me. My family's legacy is important to me. Having a legacy to leave my children is important to me, okay? I don't have time to be playing tennis all day and sipping chomps, okay? So Jack takes the paper and, in an act of ultimate disrespect, throws him down on the bench. He was like, I'll have my lawyer look at him later. And he tells Raymond, he makes some flippant mark to Raymond. And Raymond tells him his backhand is trash. Your backhand is trash. You suck at business and your backhand is trash. Okay. Then we get to see where Nikki is planning a nice little daddy-daughter date for her and the daddy llama. And there's going to be lunch, shopping, and a bike ride. He also needs a suit for the Teddy's birthday party. So she's going to help him pick that out as well. We see where Leah and Angela are down at Franklin Holdings, and Leah is stressed out. Angela is talking to her. They've grown close. Everything ever since what happened with Teddy, and him ODing himself into a heart attack. Ever since they had to sit by his bedside and console one another and fight Raymond in the elevator, they have grown close. And Angela can sense that Leah is in a bad way. She's got a lot on her mind, not just with her dad, but this thing with her and Raymond is really weighing on her heavy. Now, I don't get it because her and Raymond had bigger issues outside of Alex giving him a kiss he didn't even return, really. Their bigger issue was that she was way more on her daddy's side than she was ever on her husband's side. She was keeping a lot of stuff from her husband. And that was the great divide before Alex ever even came in town. None of that had anything to do with Alex. But evidently this kiss is the straw that broke the camel's back in their marriage. And Angela wants to scoop her up and get her, take her out for the day for a Sistervention, right? So she takes her down to the pool. I was like, she's rich. She's got a pool at her house. Like, okay. So they're down at the pool and they're sharing some intimate secrets. And Angela goes first. She talks about how Tyreek doesn't really like to talk about anything. Instead, he wants to just shut her up. And the fact that she always wants to get have intimate conversation, have more emotional conversation. He wants to shut her up with the D, saying with sex. And while it is good. It is good. She just needs a little bit more. So Leah says it's the same way with her and Raymond. You know what I'm saying? Orgasm is supposed to fix everything and shut you up. And they've had this really bang, bang, shoot 'em up sex life, but their communication has really suffered. I was like, girl, if I had to pick a problem out the problem basket, child, I would pick that one. I got to have a problem. I'd like to pick that one. You mean every time you? I'll sign up for that issue, please, Lord. If we pick it, I'd like to pick that. Okay, he breaks my back, but he doesn't talk to me. It's a lovely moment. Angela goes to refreshing the drinks because they're just getting started. Up walks Jack when Leah is laying there looking good. I'm talking about good. Those red shoes she had on were banging. Man. He walks up. Of course, he's oozing obsession and a fetish-like attitude. We don't need him on this show. We don't need him. No other Caucasians on this show. We fine. We good. We okay. Anywho, he walks up and he just wants her so bad. And I'm in bungalow 3. And you can come and see me. I know you and Raymond are doing the greatest. How would you know? We ain't seen you since episode 2 or 3. Get out of here. Beat it. Anywho, he gives her his key, his hotel key. Bungalow 3. Come and see me sometime. First of all, Leah, what you got going on? This man think he can slide you his room key and that you would take it. Where does he get the idea that you will not come out of a bag on him, a box on him, sis? What is going on? Why do he think it's okay to slide you his room key? What is going on? Huh? Why he ain't tiptoeing around you, girl? Everybody else tiptoe around you. Why Jack ain't tiptoeing around you? I'm watching you, Leah. I'm watching you. I don't like how you doing, luscious. luscious lip Raymond. Anyway, she take the key and put it in her bag. Oh, Quincy, aka the Invisible Boy, is trapped in his dad's dreams. We find this out when he talks with Hattie Mae, aka Jackie, the head of household over there at Teddy's. Hattie Mae's grandbaby. You know, they've been liking each other since they were small, running around the house, you know, together. She's beautiful, grown up, and he's fit, grown up child. And she asked him about him going to the NBA. He was like, nah, I'm doing an internship over at Darman, you know, following my daddy's legacy. She was like, that's not what you want to do. You want to be in the NBA. I was like, have we seen him dribble one ball? I mean, episode 1, I think we saw him half dribble. We did not see him dribble. First of all, Quincy is all about them jazz hands. Okay, we see that in the end when he does the Lindy Hop quite nicely at his daddy's party. He is about jazz hands, right? He is not about a dribble. But okay, that's what y'all want to do. That's what y'all want to do. That's fine. I'm here. I'm okay with it. Okay, I see what y'all did here. Y'all made Lauren the gay one. And y'all made Quincy the ambitious one. Okay. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. That's fine. But I'm just telling you, don't nothing about Quincy say NBA or basketball. So, whatever. That's fine. Anyway, she tells him, you know, he tells her that, you know, this is what his dad wants, and you know, he longs to go off and play. Teddy calls Raymond on the phone and threatens him and shames him about the whole Alex situation. I mean, obviously Leah has brought everybody into this situation. I mean, you got to talk to her about that, Raymond, because I mean, y'all can't just be bringing everybody into y'all relationship. It's too much. It's too many outside opinions. Anyway, he didn't call him and he's going to shame him and threaten him. And you got one more time to hurt my little girl. That'll be your last time. And Raymond was like, listen, pump your brakes. First of all, I got a wife. Okay, I got children, I got family, and I got Darman. That's my legacy. Unlike you, you a lonely, lonely soul, right? It strikes Teddy deep. It strikes Teddy deep because he been thinking about his brother a lot lately, mainly because he had his brother killed, in my opinion, allegedly, okay? And all the other stuff that he's done. You know, ever since he had this moment where he almost lost his life, he's been thinking about all the dirt he's done. And so Raymond just kind of puts the mirror up to his face and was like, I might be a whole lot of things, but what I ain't is lonely. Okay. And doing all these antics and tricks. Okay. To get people to talk to me and be close to me. I was like, ooh. We see where Nikki and the daddy llama have a close encounter of the police kind. He's got major PTSD, and she's struggling really to understand that. Basically, the cops pull up, and because he's fresh out of jail, and because of how he went to jail, probably he is frozen. And you know, he basically shouts out Teddy's number and then goes back into the trance and leaves Nikki in this place where she was like, what's the number? Say the number again. And she can't break him out of this trance. And it just kind of freaks her out, which is odd to me because you guys actually have more in common than just poetry. Didn't you get locked up, girl? Didn't they take you downtown for being drunk and disorderly? For being high and drunk and combative? Didn't you go down to the clink clink, girl? It might have been juvenile, but I'm just saying. Didn't you also have a run-in with the law? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it's a moment. Okay, we see where Tariq goes to see Teddy and apologize to Teddy. And Teddy quickly bundles him up, packages him up, and sends him on his way. Basically, Tariq didn't even know what hit him. He went to apologize. He wanted to talk a little bit deeper. But Teddy was like, you know what? It's not your fault. It was my fault. I'm glad I had a chance to tell you about your daddy self-harming himself. And really, I don't want you to get lost up in your emotions and your feelings of this. I'll tell you what. Be prepared to pitch your idea of y'all remember he wanted to do the outside suites. You know what I'm saying? Where you can rent a suite, you build them out. You can rent a suite, an outdoor suite, basically, at the pier. Be prepared to pitch your idea. Okay, I want you to, instead of wrapping yourself up in this whole thing about your father and getting lost in that, I want you to wrap yourself up in business. And Teddy is like, I thank you so much for this opportunity. I've forgotten all about my father, and goodbye. I was like, Tariq. Oh, bless your heart. Are you a dullard? Are you a dullard? Okay, so we see Raymond and Leah. They continue their awkward act. This is right before the party. I just don't get it. Like, y'all are putting 20 on 10. Let's be clear. The kiss is not the problem. That kiss that he had with Alex is not the problem. They had bigger issues since then. Trust me, okay? Furthermore, Leah, are you seriously? Anyway, let's keep going. Angela and Tariq have a bit of a spat at the party on the dance floor. She wants to talk to him about them talking, and he was like, let's talk a little bit later after I get you out of this dress. And she is like, I'm not talking about having sex. I'm talking about our feelings. Our feelings, right? Up until this point, they have not had an issue talking about their feelings, right? She told him about Nikki's daddy. Did he take her down in the pool and baptize her in the love of his arms right after the the party where she almost got a chance to talk to Teddy for the first time? Like, now all of a sudden, this is what happens when you write the story in the cafeteria on your lunch break. You get what I'm saying? Like, you forget about all the background stuff that you set up for the story that's already in place, right? But let's continue on. He gets kind of aggressive with her. What's wrong with you? You're the only one that wants to talk about feelings. Everyone else is here to party. I was like, first of all, go ahead and back it down a notch, Lance. You're doing too much. You up here, and we need you right here. Okay? You up here, and we need you right here. Okay? All right. I don't do no buck up. Don't buck up. Do not buck up at me. Don't get verbally aggressive with me. Don't do that. That's the quickest way to end a relationship with me. Because if I get a hint that you might have a bit of an aggression problem, you ain't got to worry about Miss Honey. Not at all. Not at all. Nikki's scared of her daddy llama, child. It's so weird. She's acting so cray. I don't know. She's another one that wants to be this emotionally wrapped up person. I mean, I guess it goes with being 18, 19 years old or whatever. They have angst, and maybe she's going through her angst period where she's just weird. She is just she's so emotional. She's so dramatic. I don't know. Which is what the whole episode is kind of about. Is about this strong black woman myth. And, I guess that kind of speaks to what I'm saying. She doesn't have to be strong. She can be emotional. It's just nerve-wracking. I don't know. Anyway, the daddy llama Nate talks to Angela about the situation. He tells her what happened, and she agrees to talk to Nikki and kind of bring her around a little bit more, and just see how she's feeling about it. It's all cute. Teddy and the Lindy Hop. So they plan a surprise dance off or dance-a-thon for Teddy, all surrounding the 20s dance, the Lindy Hop. And it's really, really beautiful. Everyone is dressed in their 20s attire. Everyone looks so gorgeous. The lip color, the makeup, the pin curls in the hair, the deep finger waves. I mean, everyone just looked absolutely beautiful except Lauren. Lauren's hair is never, ever right. The wig is just not good. Like, I just don't understand why her hair is always like a separate entity outside of her. I mean, she's wearing it on her head, but it's more like a character than the character Lauren is itself. You know what I mean? Like that finger waves with the, was it green and white finger waves? Green and silver? What was that? And then the beads in it, the gold. I was just like, I don't know. Anyway, they all dance. It's really beautiful. It's super iconic. Great moments, great pictures. It's in this moment too that Quincy tells his dad that he's out in the corporate internship. He wants to do something else. And Raymond's always come across as a really understanding father. He's no different in this situation. I'm not sure why Quincy didn't tell him just straight on before, that he doesn't really want to do any of this stuff. I don't think he wants to do this initiation thing that Raymond and Teddy are in, this King's thing, whatever they're in. I don't think he wants to be a part of any of that stuff. So anyway, he finally got to tell Raymond, and Raymond seems like he's kind of cool with that. Lauren then tries to console her mom, Leah, about Alex, and I know you think I'm a daddy's girl and I'm always on his side, but I love you too, and I want you to know I'm here for you too. And Leah was like, I'm good, girl. I'm good. You just need to mind your own business, huh? You need to go in and do your own thing, boo. Leave mommy and daddy to worry about mommy and daddy business, okay? She didn't say all that, but that's what she needed to say. Um, Next thing we see, the party is over and Leah is in her car in front of the bungalows, in front of the motel where Jack the Kisser is. And she done call Angela, and Angela has, ding, 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 magically blinked herself there in her robe, in her house coat, and a head rack, and a head wrap, and she's there at the car sitting down talking to Leah about why she called her, and she's crying, and she was like, this is the key to that bungalow, and Jack the Kisser is in there. And Angela's like, Leah, girl, no, not your marriage. And Leah was like, no, I didn't go in, I didn't have the heart to go in. She is crying. I'm like, why in the hell are you there, sis? Why would you fix a beautiful sandwich with cheap Wonder Bread when you can have whole honey wheat? I am just confused. Don't you have muscles at home? Huh? Your issue with your husband is not physical, but it is in fact a communication thing. What are you going in here to Jack's place for? Communication or physical? See, it doesn't make any sense. It's nonsensical. Is it me? Am I the only one? Put it down below. I'd like to know. It's ridiculous. Anyway, they do have a good conversation about you don't have to be a strong woman. You got a lot on your plate, and maybe what you need to do is be honest, because in this moment Leah is honest. She's honest about the fact that it's not just the kiss. Eureka, hello. Think I tried to say that. It's not just the kiss. And she's honest with herself now and Angela about Teddy being the problem, a huge problem in her relationship with Raymond. The fact that she hasn't been honest about that with Raymond. Okay. That is a big problem. And Angela says you don't have to be strong. You can be vulnerable, and you can be honest, and you can be transparent in your marriage. And maybe that is your real power in your marriage and in your relationships, right? Come on. So it's a good moment. I really appreciated it. And Leah goes on home. Angela goes on home, right? We get to see where Quincy, he tried it, girl. He tried it. He done went down there to the staff quarters, child, and tried to get the Hattie Mae's granddaughter to come out to a bonfire, child. And Hattie Mae tapped him on the shoulder and was like, no, sir. You can chase as many skirts as you want to around here, but this one right here, my legacy, what you won't do. That's what you won't do. Okay. And she says, sends him on his way. I was like, oh, you poor dear. Hattie Mae say no. Okay. Adieu. I bid you adieu. Raymond goes down to Bungalow 3. I don't know why. Why is Raymond going down to Bungalow 3? Why are you going down there, Raymond? What's happening? He goes down there and he knocks on the door, and Jack the Kisser says, you don't have to knock on the door. That's why I gave you the key, right? He's just so sure that Leah is showing up, but it's Raymond. Raymond don't have his coat on now. He just got his suspenders on and his crisp white shirt, and his pectoral muscles are bulging and pulsating outside of a starch white shirt. And he tells him, he says, you're going to sign those shares over to me. Jack was like, you know what? Let's solve all this. I've already given all of my shares over to Teddy. So you don't have to come to me no more about this whole Darman business. You got to take that up with Teddy. Now that was pissed off disrespect number one, coming from Jack the Kisser. And he said, while we're on the subject, I know you're not keeping Leah happy. And I've always considered her to be a fox. So if you slip and fall on that, I'm here to pick up those pieces too. And that is when Raymond and his pectoral muscles and his luscious, deep, dark chocolate areolas Molly whopped the piss out of Jack the Kisser. Ka-chow, ka-chow. Now, I'm not sure. At first, I thought Alex was going to be our collateral damage for the season. She definitely was working on disappearing, right? But now that we've introduced Jack the Kisser back into the scenario, it looks like Jack the Kisser is going to be our collateral damage for this season. Now, something's going to happen to Jack the Kisser, and then we're going to have a whole bunch of who done it? Was it this person? Was it that person? Let's figure it out. Once again, I am convinced that the storyline for this show is being written on the back of toilet paper and lunch napkins down in the cafeteria, right? On people's potty breaks. I mean, so we gonna see if Jack the Kisser is now the collateral damage of the season. But I digress. Okay. So, yeah, it was good. Then we see where Nikki and Angela have a talk, and they agree to ask the daddy llama to move in. Nikki is saying that she's fine. Angela is saying you don't have to be fine. You don't have to act strong. Nikki is saying, well, you've always been strong. And she's like, no, I haven't. It stops here. You don't have to be strong. You can be vulnerable. You can be yourself. You can be emotional. You can have feelings and express those feelings. Matter of fact, in order to facilitate that, let's ask the daddy llama to move in. And Nikki was like, I think I would like that. I think that would make me happy. I was like, Nate need a job. Nate need to get a job. Nate need to get his own spot. Okay. And stop walking around like a puppy dog waiting on a handout. I'm getting tired of it. I don't like it. Okay. I know he's zen, right? He's zen. That's why we call him the daddy llama. But you leave Teddy's house, you need to go to your own. Just saying. Okay, so we see where Angela and Raymond have a come to Nate meeting. Come to Nate. Because I call him the Daddy Llama. You get it? You get it? Yeah, it's kind of funny. Anyway, they're honest about what's going on, their feelings, their emotions. She's very open about the fact that it's not just the kiss. And he's, saying, why didn't you tell me? And she's telling him about the LLC legacy, the legacy LLC, and that she tried to look into it and she tried to hide it from him because she didn't want his feelings to be hurt. And her daddy shut her out of it when he found out what she was doing. Why didn't you tell me, Leah? And she was like, I don't know, but I'm telling you now, and I'm sorry. And we just need to communicate, and we need to talk, and we need to work together to figure out this whole legacy LLC thing. And he was like, okay, fine, let me go sleep on it. She was like, well, you ain't got to go. You ain't got to leave. You ain't gotta go. You ain't gotta leave. Come and do me. Please, Daddy, please me. And he was like, I thought you didn't want me to sleep in here with you. She said, I ain't talking about sleep. I ain't talking about sleep. I'm talking about your usual. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that Saturday night special. I'm talking about that good, that good wood. Okay? What you got for your girl? He was like, okay. Your boy ready. It's a good moment. We see where Lauren is stealing grown folks' business. Now, they done bought her a pony, but she ain't got her own car. She borrowing, okay, her mama's car, Leah's car. Mom's not going to let us use her car all night. I'm like, you got a whole pony, but you ain't got your own car, girl. She done hopped in the car and she see the bungalow 3 card in the car, the swipe card. She done called around there and said, give me room 3. And the lady come back and say, oh, well, we're sorry. Jack Harmon isn't in that room. And she said, Mr. Harmon's not in that room. Jack Harmon? And the lady was like, yeah, can I take a message? And she hangs up. I was like, oh, Lord. For sure, Jack is collateral damage. This season, I guess. And Lauren gonna be one of the whodunits. Anybody don't see that coming? Okay, we got 2 suspects so far. We got Nate. we got not Nate. We got Raymond, and we got Lauren so far. We got 2 suspects in the whodunit. She need to mind her business. Lauren, that teed me off. And why you still got that wig on? Take that wig off. Anyway, we get to see where Angela and the Daddy Llama get together and they talk, child. He back over there at her house. And she tells him she wants him to move in. He tells her, thank you and I appreciate it, but you can't interfere with how I raise my daughter. First of all, you're going to be under her household, sir. So all these, you don't come in with no rules and regulations, and it ain't even your abode, sir. They didn't teach you that in heaven? You know where you fell from? I don't know why I got such resentment against Nate, but I do. I don't trust Nate. And he was like, thank you so much for this opportunity, and they hug. Soon as they hug, here come old drunk Tariq walking in. Of course, he's overacting, he want to give us a visual of how drunk he is. Oh, I thought you wanted to talk. How you gonna come up here and want to talk and you drunk as Cooter Brown, child? Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? You know why you came over here drunk. Anyone to talk. And she was like, just go on home. We'll talk later. You are faded. Go on home and we'll talk later. Why you ain't just say, no, he and Nikki had something. I was just consoling him. I want us to talk. Go upstairs and sit down. Go upstairs and lay down and we'll talk in the morning. You want him to leave and go home while he leave this man here. Of course, that's going to facilitate a fight. Plus, it don't even help that the Daddy Llama, right? Okay. Then, Mr. Poetic is in the background really taking digs at Tariq. You know what I'm saying? He's instigating with his words. The lady asked you to leave. Shut up. This whole relationship not yours. He's not physically hurting her. Get out of it. You could have said, listen, let me go on. Let me go on. Okay, man, ain't nothing here. Let me go on. But instead, you going to stand back and instigate behind her back. This why I don't like the daddy llama. Okay, who just flat out Nate from jail, if you ask me. He giving everybody daddy llama, but he coming across like Nate from jail to me. I said it. Anyway, the guy was like, it was just contentious. So she's trying to get him, and he was like, you know what? We don't have to talk later. Why don't he said I go on home. I give up. I give it all up. Basically, I'm done with y'all, both of y'all. And she was like, no. And he was like, no, don't worry about that. Still a little aggressive, but I'm on Tariq's side in this situation. It could have been handled differently by Angela, and Nate didn't have to get in it at all. At all. Right? That's how the episode went off. With that drama. Which, this is all what Teddy wanted anyway. That's my whole point in not trusting Nate. Teddy wanted Nate to come there and make up with Angela and then take her and Nikki back to Boston so he could do whatever he was doing here, and Angela wouldn't kick up nothing, all the secrets, and pull out all the bones that he's got going on here at Oak Bluffs. Furthermore, why are there so many Caucasians in Oak Bluffs? I thought this was predominantly black. The cops white? What is Jack the Kisser doing here? Anywho, y'all tell me what y'all think of this episode. Do y'all think Jack the Kisser is going to be our collateral damage? The one to end up, at the end of this season? Or is it going to be, as I originally thought, Alex, right? We didn't get to see Alex do anything except talk on the TV today. So we got to see a lot of Jack. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Put it down below. Listen, and until next time, honeybees, I'll holla.